While the CIA is trying to figure out where al-Awlaki is, and they have JSOC is on the ground trying to hunt him in Yemen. Anwar al-Awlaki's youngest brother, Ammar, who I know well and spent time with in Yemen, had not seen Anwar since 2004. He was educated in Canada, was working for an oil company, and in, I believe it was February of 2011, so it's a few months before the failed attempt to kill al-Awlaki, and less than a year before they actually killed him, Anwar al-Awlaki, who's in his 20s and is kind of a hip guy. He's got slick back hair and he wears Armani glasses and he's got a goatee and he's a very modern sort of guy. He's not Anwar al-Awlaki. Is in Austria for work, and he's in a hotel, and he had just gone out with some Austrian colleagues for dinner, and he's back in his hotel and he gets a call from the lobby. And it's an American on the phone, and he says to Ammar, who speaks fluent English himself, hi, my wife is a friend of your wife, and they met at some point, and I heard you were in town, and I have a gift for your wife from my wife, so can you come and pick it up? And so Ammar goes down in this hotel into the lobby, and he sees this guy in a crisp blue suit, and he goes and he shakes hands with him, and the guy says, actually, I don't have a gift for your wife, and I'm not here to talk about that. And Ammar says to him, I assume you're here about my brother, and he goes, that's right. And Ammar says to him, are you FBI or CIA? And the guy says, the second one. He says, can I see some identification? And the guy goes, well, we don't carry business cards. We're not the FBI, but I'll show you my diplomatic passport, and shows him a U.S. diplomatic passport, and then says, can we sit down to talk? So they sit down, and the short of it is that the CIA offered Anwar al-Awlaki the $5 million bounty on his brother's head to give up his location. And Ammar hadn't seen him since 2004. He didn't know where he was. And I think that's true. I don't think any of the al-Awlakis knew exactly where Anwar was, certainly not after 2009. But this was the youngest kid of the family. He barely knew his brother. So they're pressing, and they're saying, that's a lot of money. You wouldn't be doing this for free. You can pay for Anwar's family and his kids to have a good life. And he said, we don't want to kill him. We want to take him into custody. And if we don't find him, your brother is going to end up dead. And said there's a whole task force, a team of people dedicated to hunting down your brother. And Ammar was trying to push back on them. And then they said, well, listen, why don't you just go home and talk to your family about it? And he went home and he brought it up, and his mother said to him, don't you dare ever talk to them again, and don't you respond to anything. They'd given him a Hotmail email address, which is sort of interesting. But so yeah, clearly they were going on all fronts trying to find Anwar al-Awlaki, and they offered his brother $5 million to give him up.